In the novel Sharpe's Tiger by Bernard Cornwell, a British private by the name of Sharpe takes on his first mission. His first mission carries him into the heart of India in Mysore. Sharpe's first campaign takes him to Seringapatam Fortress. The objective of the British soldiers is to take down the Tipu Sultan. In doing so, they must breach the walls. However, the knowledge on how to breach them is stored in a man named McCandless, who is held captive by the Tipu. To better understand Sharpe's journey, I go to Mysore and visit some of the key places mentioned in the book. I'll be away for about a week, from October 6th to October 13th. My flight to Mysore will take me 30 hours with 3 flight changes. By then, it will have been October 7th. The total round-trip flight is going to be $1,671. I'm traveling with Lufthansa Airlines. After my flight, I'll check in at the Kalinga Hotel in Mysore, Karnataka. The total cost for my stay is going to be $66 for 6 nights. On Tuesday, I'm going to rest up a bit after my long flight and look around the downtown of Mysore. On Wednesday, I plan on exploring the places my book mentions. In the book, the British soldiers marched to Seringapatam Fort to attack the Tipu and his soldiers. On Wednesday, I'll take a cab to Seringapatam Fortress where the Brits killed the Tipu Sultan. The total cost of Seringapatam from my hotel will be approximately $40 in US, and on the way back, the same. In the book, one of the ways they got into the fortress was through the main water gate, which is called Mysore. As well, I'm going to check out the prison that McCandless was kept captive in. Because there was no fee and no tour offered there, I'll be able to take a look at it all alone. After my trip to Seringapatam, I'll rest up for the day, and on Thursday, go visit the Tipu Sultan Museum. I'm gonna walk there because it is only an 8-minute walk. Best yet, the entrance there is free of charge again. The museum will show many of the Tipu's luxuries as well as his favorite toy, a mechanical tiger killing a redcoat. The tiger makes growling noises, as well as the sound of the redcoat crying out in pain. The book I read also featured this quote-unquote toy. This picture here shows a model. The Tipu in the book enjoyed this toy because it showed what he wanted to happen to his enemies, in his victorious feats. The tiger machine wasn't his only source of amusement. He also enjoyed watching some of his strongmen, or Jedi, perform incredible feats of strength on British spies. These feats included squeezing them to death, and also hammering a nail into the redcoats' heads with their bare hands. This picture here shows a crude image of one of the strongmen the Tipu employed. The museum will give me a first-hand look at all the things described in the book. After my half-day stay at the Tipu Sultan Museum, I decided to go to the Chinnaswawa Devasthanan Temple because of its proximity to the museum. The Chinnaswawa Temple is a worship site that the Indian citizens would use. I wanted to visit the site to get a better understanding of what the religious sites look like in India compared to the traditional Christian churches. On Friday, I intend on visiting the Mysore Zoo. From my hotel to the zoo, it would take me about 30 minutes to walk there, and along the way, I'll be able to pass by the Lakarahan Mahal Palace, which I intended on looking on later. The entrance fee to the zoo is only 75 cents in US, and at the zoo, I'll visit the famed Bengal tigers. These tigers were featured in the book as the Tipu's executioners. If the Tipu wanted someone dead, he would simply drop them off in the pit full of tigers and let them fend for themselves, but they never usually lasted long. On my way back, I wanted to check out the Lakarahan Mahal. The Mahal was built in the 1800s and was primarily used as a school for princes. What is interesting about this palace is that it connected with the zoo's garden. The last place I'm going to visit is the St. Philomena's Church. This church is also close to my hotel, so a 5-minute walk is all that I need. The church was newly built in 1956, because the once small church built in 1799 was what the British soldiers once built for their Christian practices, and that was way too small for their big gatherings. So the St. Philomena's Church was reconstructed into a bigger building. This church was an important site to visit, because in the book, the British soldiers needed a place to do their Christian practices. So thus, the St. Philomena's Church was built for them. I'm going to spend most of the morning and a little bit of the afternoon looking over the architecture and paintings. Afterwards, I plan on heading over to the local food court to eat, and then I would head over to the Mysore Cerise Emporium to buy some gifts for my family back home. The Emporium is just down the street from the church, so I'll be able to get there quickly. The Emporium holds traditional Indian clothes, and I intend on spending a total of $100 there. I'll be going home the next day, and I know I'll really enjoy my stay at Mysore, because I really enjoy looking at new countries. I hope I'll be able to experience my book completely differently. I was really glad that I made this trip, and the total amount of money I'll spend on this trip will be approximately $1,917.75.